Other than the ideological leaning, what are the other biggest problems you see in higher education at the moment that you're trying
Well,
to fix?
so when you have an institution like this, you want to bring in the top entrepreneurs in our country, the top innovators in our country, and you want to expose them to the students in a way where they're helping shape the courses. But you also want to have a lot of top academics on the humanities side. So we have what's called intellectual foundations on one side, where we think every top college student going to a top university should be given the intellectual foundations of our civilization with history and economics and philosophy and the great books, and just have that foundation, right? But then you also want to have courses that are shaped not only STEM, but stuff that's shaped by, I have over 100 friends who are founders of billion-dollar companies who've signed up to be on our talent network and to give us input. What do you want people to learn if they're going to come work at your companies or build companies with you? And so I think having both of those is very rare.
Right. So I think there's always this sense of practical application versus a sort of classic education.
Exactly. I think having both, and this is a dialectic. I'm obsessed with these dialectics, but there's like truth for why both of those extremes are important, and you need to merge them and have them there. And by the way, when you merge them properly, it's really fun because you can get different debates about what's going on in the innovation world at a startup, and you could argue about that from a philosophical perspective, and you could apply some of the old debates from a long time ago and old wisdom from a long time ago. Like imagine applying a Xenophon, this is a guy who was writing in 300 BC and he wrote about Cyrus the Great and his values and his principles and why he became so successful. And all the young European princes for like 1500 years were read Xenophon and read about Cyrus to train, like, here's the values of who you should be to be a great prince and a great leader and what that meant. And be able to have that and then talk about that in the context of a startup leader we're arguing about and the principles. It's fun. You can mix these things together.